Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, today I have something a little different. First of all, I do need to say that I wasn't going to make a video on this, so I came out here. I've read the codes and I have went through that process already. Figured out what the codes were. I verified the issue. We've got a GMC Acadia 2019. It has 95,925 miles on the odometer. A little backstory on this. So what has happened on this thing is the customer was getting a message that stated something along the lines of steering assist reduced, drive carefully or drive with caution, something like that. So he took this thing to another, well, he did some Googling online, found a TSB where it stated that if this message comes up, this is actually an engine coolant temperature problem. He found the TSB online. He took that to another mechanic, and it upset the mechanic that he Googled something himself, it appears like, because he told the customer, he said, well, if you looked it up on Google, why don't you have Google fix it? He said, because there is no way that those two are related. Well, it turns out that they are, and how they are related is so basically what that coolant thermostat, how it affects your steering. So one, the computer takes a reading of the thermostat, and it decides that if it's cold, the engine's cold, it's going to take more force for steering because of the fluids are cold. Once that warms up, it doesn't require as much force to steer, so now you have less steering assist from the electronic portion of the steering. Okay, so this does have a direct correlation, and I guess the reason I'm making this video is, one, if you see that come up, you can still drive this thing. You won't have AC. He lost his AC, and he would the cooling fans would always run, and then also the coolant gauge doesn't go up at all, which it's not running that cold, but it has a preset time that it needs to come up to 149 degrees. If it does not meet that criteria, it will throw two codes, and I'll put those codes up. I did take a picture of those so I could look them up, and that's how I found it, so I'll put that up. Okay, I guess going back to why I'm making this video. First of all, it kind of is a good reminder to me, because the customer stated that he will never go back to that other mechanic that he went to, and he had been going to him for a while. And I know the mechanic. He's a pretty good mechanic. He's a little saltier than some, but the customer stated that he doesn't feel like he wants to go back to him because he felt like the mechanic was rude. It was a good reminder to me to never discount the customer's complaints or what they found. We're going to see more of people Googling things that are going wrong with their vehicles. They want to know. Google is easy to Google. Some of the information is not going to be correct, but just like this customer, his information is correct. He showed me a TSB that stated to replace the thermostat and not the steering gear, because there were some places that were replacing steering gears because of what the message showed. But so yeah, it's a good reminder to me to, first of all, just be courteous. Second of all, don't discount what your customer's saying. Find a way, if the customer's information is not correct, find a way that's tactful to explain to him that that's not the case. Sometimes you'll be right, sometimes the customer will be right, sometimes we won't be right. But to discount the customer as full of crap because they found it on Google, not a good place to go. So, rant over. That's neither here nor there anymore, but what we're going to do with the codes that we came up with, we are going to go ahead and order a thermostat for this thing. The thermostat is pretty involved in replacing this thing. They don't put them in a very good place. We're going to have to get intake gaskets. Come on, open, please. There we go. So it's down in the V, down in all the way down. So we're going to have to pull the top part of the engine off, which is not terrible. I think it pays like 4.5 hours or something like that by book time. So yeah, there's right down there, and that it has a pipe that runs across there, and we're gonna get that replaced, and that should take care of the issue. I'll bring you back when I get the parts. But yeah, like I said, I wasn't gonna make a video on this because I didn't feel like it was necessary, but the more I thought about it and the more I verified what the customer had said, I thought maybe somebody else could benefit from that. I know it was a fresh reminder to me, because sometimes I get frustrated when somebody Googles their symptoms and they are wrong, or they Googled something that, you know, brought up something obnoxious. But in this case, it does sound obnoxious. It doesn't sound like it's right, but it is. So yeah, we'll bring you back when we get that thermostat in. All right, we're back on this Acadia. So let's get to it. We got parts here. Let's get those over here and get started on this thing. Parts from GM are right here. Excuse my mess on my cart. But we got our intake gaskets. We're gonna go ahead and replace the temperature sensor while we're at it. More gaskets. Here's our thermostat somewhere here. So yeah, let's get started on this. We've got to go underneath here, and on the side of the radiator there'll be a red knob, and get our drain pan here. We're not saving this antifreeze for anything. Don't save antifreeze. Antifreeze goes bad. All right, let's get in underneath here. I'm gonna do this on the floor today because I've got my lifts tied up. But if you'll look, get you guys situated here, that red knob up there, that's what we want to turn. Finally got it open. All right, as you can see, it drains out through that radiator mount there. While that's draining, let's get this top end of this motor off of here, and let's get this thing tore down to where we can get our thermostats. All right, let's get started unplugging some things here. Get that off of there first. And there's a PCV hose on the back here, I believe it is. Maybe it's a, yep, it's PCV. One, undone. I'm short. It's off. Off. All right, let's see if we can get this off of here. Come on. Please come off. Okay. Unplug more things, y'all. There we go. Pull that off of there. There's that. Hey, right there. Go to the side. Can get this out of the way, this harness. I don't think it necessarily needs to be unplugged, but well, yeah, if I don't know every step of the way, it's because this is the first one I've done, so bear with me. Air compressor noises. Okay, let's get 10 millimeter over there. Sounds like our antifreeze is almost done draining, so there's that. Okay, let's see if we can pull this out of here. Now, before we get too far into this, okay, so our thermostat is right down here, which is kind of asinine in my opinion, but whatever. They didn't ask for my opinion. Loud noises. Go ahead and protect our intake here. Keep anything from falling down in there. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that we're gonna have to remove the injectors and all that to get that pipe out of there. At one time, GM had offered just the thermostat housing there, so I guess I'm wondering if I can just go ahead and replace just the thermostat housing instead of the whole thing. And I believe I've seen where people will do that. So, because if we take those out of there, we're gonna have to replace these lines because these are one-time use lines here. Once you crimp them once, or tighten them once, you don't get to tighten them, or you're not supposed to tighten them again. So let's go ahead and see if we can just get that thermostat out of there without removing that pipe. I don't know, that's tight. Let's see what happens here. Coffee, I need more coffee too. I really don't want to replace those lines and all the seals on the injectors. And GM and all their quality, sometimes you also have a problem with with the injectors not working correctly after you remove them. So I don't want to remove them if I don't have to. And here goes the AC. Sorry guys, it's gonna be a little loud for a while. Give them a room. You guys can see that's way down in there. That's our temperature sensor that we're going to go ahead and replace. There we go. Got it out of there. All right. Now, let's see if we can get our thermostat housing out of there without having to remove our pipe. I don't know. Yeah, it'll come out of there. I'm just not sure if it'll come out of there without removing the injectors. And if we have to remove the injectors, we might as well replace the whole pipe and everything. Okay, I think what we might do here, there's a bracket that holds this thing in place somewhere over there. Okay, all right, let's go ahead. Let's just loosen some things up here. Give us just a little bit more space. Okay, move that out of the way. Let's move this out of the way. You guys probably can't see anything, but where we're taking things loose here, I'm taking this loose because there's a mounting bracket for this pipe in behind here, and I need all of this cover out of the way so I can get that bracket loose. Really? Okay, maybe I can. Okay, I can get to it from there. Go by feel. And by feel only. This is ridiculous. Okay, now see if we can. Of course not. Alright. See if we can get this in here now. Maybe. Really? Seriously? Again, this is all going by feel here. Pretty sure it's a... Come on. Alright guys, I'm gonna set you guys back a little and then we'll get... Alright guys, I'm back and a little better frame of mind actually. Because, you know, I got this loose. So what I did is took this bolt out down here at the end. I could slide this pipe back. And when all the stars align and all the galaxies are just in the right place and everything's just right, that thermostat will come right out through there. So we're gonna go ahead and change the temperature sensor just because we're down here anyway, and you know, it's I would recommend it. I mean, the thing's not very expensive. I don't remember what it was, but it's not very expensive and it's from GM. So while we're down here anyway, let's go ahead and replace it. So let's go get that, and hopefully we'll be able to get down there. We've still got some things in the way. No. Okay. Can we do this? Well, this might be a problem. Nope, it's not going to work. Well, if this doesn't work, I'm running out of ideas quickly. Across there? Yes. This will work. This will work. All right. this is gonna work. Okay. Loud sucking noises. Okay. You ever have one of those days where you just drop everything, nothing wants to go smoothly? Having one of those days this morning. I mean, it could be worse. It has been worse, but if things could go a little smoother, that would be great. Yeah, anyway, enough complaining. We can get this thing to thread in there. Alright guys, we're gonna thread that thing down in there. I'm gonna put a new O-ring on there. We're gonna put this thing back together and I'll be back. Get these out of here before we accidentally leave them in there. That will tend to make an engine run bad. Mating surfaces are clean. I would turn the AC off, but I'm a wimp. I don't like to be hot at all. It's probably why I don't move to Florida. I wouldn't mind being a mechanic down there, but I'm not into that 100 and some degrees. I mean, we get 100 degrees here during the summer sometimes, but it's short-lived, as all the Midwesterners say. If you don't like the weather in Illinois, just hang around, it'll change. Funny, right? Yeah, I would not make it. I love Florida. If they would have weather that would actually agree with me, you know, maybe something that isn't always hot. This thing's shot. Yeah, I mean, it's always hot in Florida. I'm a fan of, you know, 40, 50 degrees. I can handle that way better than 100 degrees. So, the one thing I like about Florida is, you know, among several things, is that, you know, they don't have to use salt down there. Vehicles last more than 10 years down there, or, you know, within 5 years here, we've got vehicles that are just absolutely starting to rust away. And yeah, I mean, they're just, nobody builds vehicles except for certain manufacturers. Some manufacturers actually do a pretty good job. I will say I've got a Volkswagen that's pretty good with not rusting. It's a 2013, 10 years old, still no rust, not a single bit of rust. It's unusual for our area. But I don't think I can move to Florida because I don't like the heat. It just, no. I don't like it. So, anyway, now you know. Let's see here. Click these on down. About just about right. There we go. We've got this bolt over here tight. Let's get this back over to here. I think this goes up underneath there, to be honest. Safety, red safety tab. Ooh, this one's got a gray safety tab. Click. Good. All right, now this comes back over here, clicks it into there, plugs into there, click. Oh, sorry, you guys can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Hang on. This. Yeah, this comes up to here, this goes here, red safety click, red safety click, there, this comes up over here, there, okay. Now, there. Make sure we get you guys set up here to where you can see a little more. All right. Okay, that's there. Okay. Come on. That just clicks in. Go ahead and tighten up our hose clamps here. And here. There we go. All right, now we're gonna come underneath here, and I got something I gotta do first before I do that, but I'll be back then shortly. But then we're gonna refill this thing with antifreeze and take it on a test drive. All right, we've got the valve closed on the bottom. Go ahead and start the filling process, pouring things, as Rain Man Ray would say. Got to be a little careful. So we're gonna go ahead and top this off, and I'll bring you back when I've got this all topped off and we're headed out on our test drive. Check it for leaks. I mean, shouldn't be any leaks, but you know, never know. So yeah, we'll check it for leaks, finish topping this off. I'll bring you guys back when I'm headed out on the test drive. All right guys, we're gonna take this thing on a little test drive. I'll be back, dog. Take this thing on a little test drive and see if we can verify that the problem has been fixed. Temperature's up, the fluid levels where it's supposed to be. check for leaks. No leaks, so let's go take it on a test drive. So I know I alluded to it a little bit in the start of the video here, but I want to just kind of go over it again. I've been thinking a little bit about the fact that this customer got treated the way he did by another mechanic for looking up on Google or YouTube. Actually, it was YouTube. The customer told me later it was YouTube that he looked it up on, and this guy was like, well, if you looked it up on YouTube, why don't you have YouTube fix it? You know, I think that response is probably stemming from the mechanic being a little frustrated with the fact that there's YouTube videos out there, and the fact that mechanics are putting out YouTube videos, and some technicians have the idea that by us doing this, we're taking work away from them. Maybe we're exposing things, too much information being put out there. Maybe it's frustrating to them. I don't know. Doesn't matter, I guess. But a little channel update here is the reason I'm putting these videos out there is, first of all, to create transparency, allow you as the consumer to fix your own vehicle. There's no reason why you can't, because if I can do it, you can do it, as Eric O would say. So, and it's true, these vehicles are still repairable. Sometimes it takes a little more work, a little more thinking, but if you want to repair it yourself, I want to put a video out there that you can look at and watch, and maybe it'll help you. I don't know. Or at the very least, you'll see why your bill from your mechanic is $1,000 instead of $100 for labor, you know, for a $5 part. Sometimes a $5 part takes 10 hours to change, you know, and so now you've got a bill of $1,000. So, you know, that's my goal for making these videos. Yeah, I'd like to have a little bit of an income off of it, because it does take time out of the day to create videos. So eventually, hopefully, you know, hit the subscribe button, get me up to 1,000 subscribers. But anyway, so yeah, I think some mechanics don't look at it that way, but I do. I think transparency is good. I don't think there's any, I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so I don't care. I don't care if somebody comes into my shop and sees what I'm doing. That's not a problem on my part. And you know, I think it just, transparency is good, and but some mechanics don't like to show that. So maybe that's why it frustrated him. Either way, I think it again is a reminder to me to treat the customer respectfully, and if they bring in a YouTube video that's you know, that they watched and it's not right, you explain why it's not right. Some customers will be okay with that, but some won't. If you build up a trust with your customers, you can explain to them, and they will most times believe you. Gravity, wow, okay. Let's get that back up there. But I think it's, you know, it's that trust that you build. But either way, enough on that. I think that really, okay, well, I'm just going to lay that right there, because I don't want to ruin anything. Back to the story at hand. I think the goal of most channels that are mechanics that put this information out there is, yeah, we would like to have people view our videos. We, you know, if we're doing it for a little bit of an income, nothing wrong with that. But we also want to allow you guys to fix your own things. There's plenty of work out there. I am currently booked out 4 weeks. I know that most of the techs around here, the shops around here, are at least 2 weeks and most times 4 weeks. Good friend of mine that's a mechanic is booked out about 3 to 4 weeks. So there is not a lack of work. So why be afraid to show people how to fix their own vehicles? There should be no problem with that, in my opinion. I think that's the goal of most of us that do this. Couple of channels that I watch and I feel are trustworthy is Rain Man Ray in Florida. I watch South Main Auto. That's kind of my rant on it. But not everybody thinks that way. So let me know, I guess, in the comments if you guys think the same, or if you think I'm way off my rocker. But I feel that transparency is a good thing, and if you have something to hide and don't want to put your videos on YouTube, maybe there's some, I don't know, maybe you need to. And for some people it's just not about that. They just don't, they don't see the benefit, whatever. But if you don't think this stuff needs to be shared on YouTube, because I mean, maybe people will try to fix it themselves and mess it up even more, you know, I don't know. But people are going to try to fix it themselves one way or the other most times, and we might as well give them something good to watch, and you know, hopefully they don't mess it up too bad. If they do, we can fix it. So anyway, enough of that. I want to thank you guys for watching. Our temperature's staying good. We have no codes coming up in the dash. Our AC is working. We've got ice cold AC. So I think we have repaired this car. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Sorry about the long rant. I know it kind of went on and on, so sorry about that. If that wasn't what you wanted to watch, go ahead and skip past that. Mute me, whatever. But that's my thoughts on it. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you don't mind subscribing to the channel, sure helps me out a lot. And liking this video, comment down below. Are we doing the industry harm by posting videos on YouTube? Are we helping the industry? Let me know. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.